thanks for checking in with us for this episode of Dirtbike's video series, The 22s. This time around, we have what many people say is the sexiest looking bike in motocross. It's the 2022 Honda CRF450R WE. The WE stands for Works Edition, and it does look pretty much like the Works bike that Chase Sexton is riding in the 2022 Monster Energy Supercross series. Most special editions and replica bikes go heavy on cosmetics. This one certainly does that, but the special features go a little deeper. It has the red team graphics, the red valve cover, the throttle jockey seat cover, but it also has performance-oriented parts, like a full Yoshimura titanium exhaust system, a ported cylinder head, new mapping to go with it, a Henson clutch cover and basket, Ti-nitrate coated lower fork tubes, Ti-nitrate coated 18mm shock shaft, a twin air filter, and DID Dirt Star LTX rims. The MSRP for the Honda CRF450 RWE is $12,399. That puts it in a tie with the Kawasaki KX450 SR as the most expensive of the special edition motocross bikes. The Husky Rockstar Edition is $11,799, and the KTM 450 Factory Edition is $11,699. The Kawasaki is a much better comparison to the Honda because it has similar upgrades, like the exhaust and headwork. The KTM and Husqvarna, on the other hand, are basically early release 2023 models with a few extra parts and pieces thrown in. The Honda suspension is still Showa, which is what both Ken Roczen and Chase Sexton use, but it isn't really a kit suspension. The Ti-nitrate coatings are an expensive upgrade over stock, but mechanically the components are the same as those of the production version, right down to the spring rates. There is a slight difference in valving. As an interesting side note, Kawasaki went with a different philosophy. Jason Anderson, Adam Cincerello, and the stock KX450 all use Showa components. They elected to switch suspension suppliers to KYB for the SR. Honda is sticking with Showa all the way. Up front, you gotta understand that the Honda is a brute. Even the stock CRF450R is pretty hard-hitting, and the RWE is even more powerful. That makes it fun and intimidating at the same time. For 2022, the most significant change, maybe the only change, is revised mapping. If you remember, the 2021 Honda 450 competition bikes all arrived with mapping that was a little funky. They were later updated. This is the update. You have 3 maps available on the fly. 1 flash of the LED on the handlebar is the standard map, 2 flashes is the mild map, and 3 is the tangy one. Here's the interesting part. Even though everyone says the Honda is a handful because it's so incredibly powerful, no one wants to use the mild map. That's probably because the Honda is a little sleepy down low by the standards of modern 450 motocross bikes, and the mild map doesn't really help that. It just kind of takes away peak power and over rev. The net result is a narrower power band and maybe a bike that's a little bit harder to ride. The standard and aggressive maps go a little further on top, meaning that you don't have to shift as often, but you do have to hold on tighter. Honda also has traction control available on the same map switch. In most situations, it doesn't make a big difference, but in soft soil, it can tame the bike down a little bit. The Honda's strong point is still cornering. It's a light bike with very responsive steering. That means it drops into turns with very little effort. Sometimes it gets a little busy. That's the result of suspension settings that aren't especially well balanced. Most riders report that the rear is on the soft side. They also say that the Honda CRF450 RWE suspension feels quite different from the stocker despite similar specs. You often go deeper into the stroke, requiring an increase in compression damping. We already know that the bike is a fantastic pro-level racer. We took our standard CRF450R and gave it to Justin Jones to ride the final 2 rounds of the 2021 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross season. Pros are the exact riders this bike was designed for. That's why they call it the Works Edition. That doesn't mean that novices and intermediates should stay away, though. It still has a lot going for it. The truth is that bikes with this much power are a blast to ride, and no one can resist the way it looks. For more videos of the 2022 Motocross Special Editions, check these out. You can read about them all in more depth at dirtbikemagazine.com. And check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.